following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Arizona, this is Brother Michael, back on the radio, hardcorechristianity.com. Thanks for tuning in. Today's Bible study, Sexual Revolutions. Another one has started. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on? This is going to be kind of interesting today. It's a little bit R-rated, but not really, so it's all good. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix. We're downtown, just south of Osborne Road. It's the red brick building on 15th Avenue. On the website, hardcorechristianity.com, you'll see we have all kinds of ministry services. We have a counseling center there. If you are a born-again Christian, you're eligible for free counseling services at the Arizona Deliverance Center. All you need to do is call the ministry line. When you go to the website, please sign up for one of our upcoming seminars. We have a women's seminar coming up. We have a children's healing and deliverance service coming up on November 5th. My deliverance training class is the fourth Saturday of every month at the Deliverance Center in the small sanctuary. If you need a religious exemption, send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. I'll send you one out instamatically. If you know somebody who needs to be healed or delivered and they can't come to the center, send me an email, and I will send you the miracle list, a step-by-step guide to freedom that works 100% of the time. It is the most powerful healing list in America. Don't forget about our Zoom deliverance service every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Pacific and Arizona time. You wouldn't believe what's going on this Zoom broadcast. In addition, Thursday and Friday nights at the Deliverance Center, we have preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance. If you've never seen people getting delivered from demons, recommend you come see it. Just sit in the back and watch what goes on. It's quite remarkable. Watching the Holy Ghost is the most remarkable thing you could ever imagine. Sexual revolutions. Oh man, it's happening again. I mean, it is a barn burner. Satan is the author of sexual revolutions. The basic concept of it is extramarital sex. For example, he had a sexual revolution going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. The two main cities, plus all the villages and small cities all around it, had been swept away in sexual perversion. For example, Romans chapter 1, Paul goes on to speak about the unbelieving nations long before Sodom and Gomorrah. They had given themselves over to all kinds of sexual perversion. And it all started here in America, though, in 1960. The first oral contraception was approved by the FDA. It was called Enovid, and it allowed women to take a pill, from thenceforth known as the pill, and they could have intercourse without running the risk of getting pregnant. That started the sexual revolution in America. That the pill led to the Summer of Love in San Francisco in 1969, rampant with immorality, VDs, STDs, and they didn't have them back then, but if they did, it would have been SUVs. And then, of course, Woodstock, the concert of free love. Of course, preceding that was Albert Kinsey's satanic work on sexual research in the 1940s, and Hugh Hefner's rise to power in 1953. The first magazine of Playboy came out with Marilyn Monroe on the cover. Following that up, Masters and Johnson's stepped up Albert Kinsey's work in the 60s and 70s. All of this research reduced human sexuality to a behavioral science. Had nothing to do with spirituality. It was just simply something animals did, and they researched what the animals were doing. And of course, in 1970, it started. The first formal gay pride parade occurred in the United States in Chicago. And it was put on by the Chicago Gay Liberation Group. Okay? And then on the West Coast, after that, it kicked in huge. And today we have the Folsom Street Fair, which is a gasping celebration of sexual perversion, live and in living color, including public sex acts. It's absolutely unbelievable. Then we also hit, of course, AIDS, AIDS and herpes hit in the 1980s, early 1980s, and sent a shockwave through the United States. In 1996, the Defense of Marriage Act was passed, which defined marriage as an activity between a male and a female. However, the Obergefell versus Hodges decision later on released same-sex marriage as legal. You move ahead to today, and the sexual culture has now shifted and moved into a level of demonic perversion and satanic promotion nobody ever predicted or could foresee. Satan is coming up with a big bag of tricks that he has never used before, normalizing transgenderism, normalizing the sexualization of our children in schools, normalizing perversion you can't even conceive or believe. Nobody in the 1960s or 50s, nobody would have ever dreamed any of this could have possibly happened. Nobody could have believed it. It's truly amazing. Now, in America, the majority of Americans openly support gay marriage. Even conservative Republicans have accepted it. State governments like New York and California have banned Christian counseling that seeks to help homosexuals struggling with same-sex attraction. They're labeling them as abusive. These counselors are abusing their clients because the clients come in, they don't want to have homosexual desires. They want prayer and they want counseling, and states like New York and California are outlawing it. Outlawing it because homosexuality is perfectly normal and it's blessed and created by God. Therefore, these Christian counselors trying to reduce it are now breaking the law. Now we're seeing children with chemical castration and genital mutilization approved by the AMA, approved by the APA, approved by the Pediatric Association of America, approved by school districts, public school districts all over the country. The level of sexual revolution has absolutely gone wild. Grade schoolers now across the nation are being taught the joys of anal intercourse, the proper methods of oral sex, the blessings of swingers, group sex. This is happening right in front of our eyes. It's stunning beyond comprehension of this thing is mind-boggling. How fast the devil has moved this thing and moving us to a point of extinction. The public schools now are woked out, and people who are men say they're women They just accept it. People that are women now claim to be men. They just accept it. Biology, Satan threw out the door and is never to return. School systems now, instead of teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, are now indoctrinating your children with homosexual, gay, lesbian, transgender lifestyles. It's an indoctrination program. They are advancing this new sexual revolution. It is incredible. Everything practically on television is sold through sex or humor. The Super Bowl halftime show is now R-rated. It's unbelievable how this thing has happened. Janet Jackson's breast fell out of her outfit in the Super Bowl years ago, and from that day forward, everyone who does a Super Bowl halftime show tries to outdo the last group that did it sexually. And this is a program that the entire world watches. The Super Bowl is the highest rated program. It's the highest rated program in the entire world. You can't believe how popular the Super Bowl is. And the halftime show, an R-rated halftime show, nobody has any clothes on. Everybody's gyrating on poles. It's all a Snoop Dogg presentation of sexual perversion, fornication, adultery, whoremongering, harloting, as to use biblical terms in the King James Bible. You look at some of our cities and they are overrun with perversion. Las Vegas, San Francisco, New Orleans, Los Angeles, New York. Those cities also, by the way, are overrun by massive crime. Massive crime. Sexual perversion is everywhere. In Hollywood, it is soaked in sexual perversion. Hollywood people particularly enjoy having sexual relations with minors. The Epstein syndrome is all over Hollywood. Everybody knew about Epstein. It was common knowledge. Everybody went out to his island to have sex with 14-year-old girls. And to this day, the people that went to the island have been covered up. But the sin of this country is not being covered up anymore.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.